Hello and welcome back to Saxon Math. This is Course 1's Lesson 25, Writing Division Answers as Mixed Numbers and Multiples. We write some division answers as mixed numbers. A mixed number is a whole number plus a fraction. Might look like this, whole number plus a fraction. We've been writing division answers with remainders in the past, and you sometimes need to continue to do that. However, not all questions involving division can appropriately be answered using remainders. Some word problems have answers that are mixed numbers. So sometimes you have a remainder of the divisor to make the fraction of a mixed number. So if you have 25 sixths and you need to write it as a mixed number, you can see that it would be 4 will go into 25, or sorry, 6 will go into 25 4 times. And then 4 times 6 is 24. There'd be one remainder. So typically we've seen this 6 remainder 1, or sorry, 4 remainder 1. Not 6 remainder 1, but 4 remainder 1 is what we've seen in the past. But instead of having the remainder, you just use the remainder as the numerator, and then this number right here would be the denominator in that case. Example 2, a whole circle is 100% of a circle. 1/3 of a circle is what percent of a circle? You just need to take 100% divided by 3. And you can see that 3 will go into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 1, 10 minus 9 equals 1. Bring the next 0 down. You have 10 divided by 3 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 taken away from 10 equals 1. The numerator is the 1, which would technically be the remainder typically. And then this becomes the denominator. This 3 becomes the denominator. So it actually would go like that. Okay, we find multiples when we're looking at multiples of a number by multiplying the number by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. So for example, the first 6 multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and 18. How do we know? Because this is 3 times 1, this is 3 times 2, this is 3 times 3, this is 3 times 4, this is 3 times 5, this is 3 times 6, and if we were to go on to infinity, it'd be times 7 would be 21, times 8 would be 24, and on and on and on. An example 1. Let's look at writing division answers as mixed numbers here. If you have a 15-inch length of ribbon and it was cut into 4 equal lengths, how long is each piece? So in order to do this, we just need to take that 15 divided by 4 and recognize that 4 will go into 15 3 times, and 3 times 4 is 12. Subtract that is 3. Now, sometimes you might say remainder, but not in this case, because we're looking for how long was each piece of ribbon. And if you said 3 remainder 3, that's not a length measurement. That's not a distance. So instead, we're going to use this 3 as the numerator and this 4 as the denominator. So now we know it's 3 3/4, and it's in inches. 3 3/4 is what each one of those equal sections would be. Let's try another one. In example 2 here, a whole circle is 100% of a circle. 1/3 of a circle is what percent? So 1/3, this of means times, of a circle is what percent of a circle? So in this case, you have to take, if you're doing 1/3 times 100%, that's the same as 100% divided by 3. Notice it'd be like 100% over 1. 1 times 100 is 100%, and 3 times 1 is 3. So now you have 100%. keep the label there. And we're going to divide it by 3. 3 will go into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract that, bring that down, and be 10. Divided by 3 is 3 again. This would be 9. Subtract that, that'd be a remainder of 1. Or when we're doing mixed numbers, the remainder becomes the numerator. This becomes the denominator. And then you put your label on there. It'd be 33 1/3% is what 1/3 of a circle is. So if you have a circle and it's split up equally into 3 equal parts, this would be 33 1/3%. So would this one and this one. Example 3, write 25/6 as a mixed number. So in this case, you have 25 divided by 6. 6 will go into 25 4 times. That's 25 subtract 24, which equals 1. And the remainder is not the remainder anymore. We're going to have that as a numerator and then 6 as the denominator. This is the mixed number because it's a whole number and a fraction combined. Looking at multiples now. To find the multiples of a number, you just multiply by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. It just goes on forever. So what are the first 4 multiples of 8? Now multiples can be confused with factors sometimes. People confuse the two factors of 8 look like this. That'd be 1 and 8 and 2 times 4, and that would be it. 3 can't go into 8. So these are the factors of 8. Those are all the numbers that are divisible without a remainder. If you took 8 divided by 4, you'd get 2. If you took 8 divided by 2, you'd get 4. If you took 8 divided by 1, you'd get 8. Factors are totally different than multiples, but easily confused. Multiples are just counting by that particular number. So you're going to count by 8 in this case, multiples of 8, and it wants the first 4 multiples, so we're going to start with the first one is 8. The second one would be 8 times 2, which is 16. The third one would be 8 times 3, which is 24. The fourth one would be 8 times 4, which is 32. So these would be the first 4 multiples of 8. This was just times 1, this is times 2, this is times 3, this is times 4. Example 5, what is the 8th multiple of 7? So I actually need to do the multiples of 7 all the way up to the 8th one. So it'd be 7, 14, 21, 28. Then I go from there, it'd be that's the first, second, third, fourth. The 5th one is 35. 6th one is 42. The 7th one would be 48. 49, excuse me. So this is times 1, this is times 2, this is times 3, this would be times 4, and I'm talking about 7 here. 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 2 is 14, 7 times 3 is 21, 7 times 8, or 4 is 28, 7 times 5 is 35, 7 times 6 is 42, 7 times 7 is 49. Now, you don't necessarily have to list all of those, but to find out what the 8th one is, you can see all I have to do is multiply it times 8. 7 times 8 equals 56. So that'd be your final answer on this particular question. Let's try letter A. A 28-inch long ribbon was cut into 8 equal lengths. How long is each piece of ribbon? So let me just put A here. This is 28 and it has to be divided into 8 equal lengths. So 8 divided by 3, 8 times 3 would be 24, and then I just subtract. This would be 4 as the remainder, but I'm going to put that over 8. And I have to recognize something here. This 4/8 is the same as 3.5. So that whole number I need to keep it there and bring it over, and then I'm going to label it. It's in inches. 3.5 inches is how long each piece would be. All right, letter B. If you have a whole circle and it's 100% of a circle, what percent is 1/7 of a circle? So 1/7 times 100% would just mean this: 100% divided by 7. So that's what I'm going to do. 100% divided by 7. 7 will go into 10 once. Subtract it. I get 3. Bring down the 0. 30 divided by 7 will be 4. I'd get 28. Subtract it. 2 would be my remainder, but instead of remainders, it's going to be a numerator. And this will be the denominator. And then I need to label it. Okay, try letter C. What is, if you divide 467 by 10 and write the quotient as a mixed number? So that's all it's asking you to do is 467 without a remainder. So we're going to have 467 divided by 10. It'll go into 10 4 times. 4 times 10 is 40. Subtract that would be 6. Bring this down, that'd be 7. So 67 divided by 10 is 6. And that times 10 would be 60. All you'd have left is 7. 7 is not a remainder this time. We're going to put it as a mixed number because that's what it's asking. So 7 is the numerator and 10 is the denominator. And that can't be reduced. Neither of those have factors that are equal to each other than 1. So that would be it, 46 7/10. Okay, let's try letter D here. What are the first 4 multiples of 12? So if I'm looking at the first 4, all I have to do is multiply this times 4. So the first 4, but I'm looking at the first 4. I need all of them. So I'm going to start with 12, and then the next one would be 24, the next one would be 36, and the next one would be 48. So this is the first one, second, third, fourth. So for letter D, this is what you should have answered. Letter E, what's the first 6 multiples of 8? So in this case, we're going to start with 8, and then it's 16. 8 times 3 is 24. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times 5 is 40. And 8 times 6 would be 48. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That'd be your answer for letter E. Letter F, what number is both the third multiple of 8 and the second multiple of 2 or 12? So the third multiple of 8 would be 3 times 8. So 3 times 8 equals 24. And the second multiple, that'd be 2 times 12 equals 24. So what number is both the third multiple of 8 and the second multiple of 12? It would be 24. 24 is the answer. Letter G. Write each of these improper fractions as mixed numbers. All right, let's do letter G, 35 divided by 6. This should look like this. 35 divided by 6 would be, 6 will go into 35. It'll go in there 5 times. That would get us to 30 because 5 times 6 is 30. Subtract that, that'd be 5. 5 would be the numerator, 6 would be the denominator. So the mixed number of this would be 5 and 5/6. Okay, go ahead and do letter H. This would be 49/10. And that's the same as 49 divided by 10. 10 will go into 49 4 times. 4 times 10 is 40. Subtract that, this would be 9. 9 would be the numerator. 10 would be the denominator. So this would be the same as 4 and 9/10 as the mixed number. And then do letter I. 65 twelfths. 65 twelfths is the same as 65 divided by 12. 12 will go into, let's see, 65 times. Guess and check. It'll go in there 65 5 times. 5 times 12 is 60. Subtract that, it'd be 5 left. 5 is the numerator. The denominator is 12. Those are reduced fractions. You can't reduce those any further, so that would be the best answer. This would be 5 and 5/12. All right, excellent job today. Make sure you guys use your time during class. You have a 50-minute math lesson to complete 30 math problems. Have a good day.